Boeser! Yes! He's always great against Pittsburgh, isn't he? This one was all his own. He gets the puck in the defensive zone, walks it in through the neutral zone, comes right in across the line, weaves off to the side, and absolutely just snipes it past DeSmith, beats out Gensel and DeSmith on that short side. Brock Boeser has won the game in overtime. The Vancouver Canucks have 3 wins in a row. Anders Nilsson has 3 wins in a row. And Nielsen, who is an absolute beast in these few games, honestly, had a great-ish game. Now, the Vancouver Canucks just beat the Penguins. It's 3-2, overtime win. That was basically my immediate reaction. I didn't watch the first period of this game because projects in school, Org B, midterms, it's very, it's an experience. But I got home, watched the second, and I was like, this is really high-paced. The Canucks are getting some shots in there, the Penguins are getting some shots in there. Nielsen really standing on his head here. I heard that he let in the first shot of the game, and that was kind of a thing that Vancouver Canucks fans are low-key used to, at least in regards to Jacob Markstrom last season. But aside from that, he looked pretty darn good. The goal that they scored at the end of the third period, the Penguins did, honestly, that was just a fantastic play. Like, you can't really defend that if you're a goalie. You gotta respect the shot that Kessel had, which is exactly what Nielsen did. It's just that a better pass that got by the D-man is what took place instead. Couldn't blame Nielsen for that one. The first one, you could probably blame him for that one, but it's fine. He played very well in the periods that I watched. And overall, the Vancouver Canucks were just like in their zone, kind of beating the Penguins out a little bit, hemming it into the Penguin zone, keeping it down there. I really liked their control and how they maintained themselves in the neutral zone. One player that I actually really had my eye on the entire time was Ben Hutton. Hutton looked so confident out there in the defensive zone. His retrievals of the puck, going over, spinning guys out, doing some crazy fancy wheeling with the puck as a D-man. This was the Ben Hutton that Ben Hutton wanted to be last year, but just wasn't because all of the crazy things that he wanted to do in his own zone weren't working. This Ben Hutton was confident. I mean, why shouldn't he have been? He got a goal, for Christ's sakes. He was confident, and it really did reflect in his ability to translate onto the ice. He had a creative mind in the defensive zone, and honestly, he put it to good use. I really liked everything that Hutton was able to provide in this game. But overall, though, let's go over the goals. Granlund was behind the net in the first period after the Penguins scored that goal in that first shot. He had the puck behind the net. He just threw it out front lightly. Schaller barely, slightly touches it a little bit. I don't even know if he got a good shot on that one, but it squeaks through Schaller, squeaks through the other Penguins who are in that area, comes right out to Hutton, and DeSmith is just beat out. Ben Hutton is able to take a wrister, his first of the year, fantastic. Then later in that period, Brandon Sutter gets one. It was a very good play. Schaller driving behind the net, absolutely controlling the puck away from the Pittsburgh defender. That was Dumoulin, I believe. And he crosses it right in front through the slot. DeSmith is down, and the puck squeaks out on the near side. Brandon Sutter, the right-handed shot on the left side, just rips it. It's in the net, 2-1 Vancouver. Now, the Canucks didn't score up until the end there, which I just talked about, but the game in between was very fast-paced and not filled with a lot of face-offs. There were a few icings here and there, but overall there was one penalty the entire time, and it was just a long stretch of play for the majority of the viewing. And I was entertained because, wow, DeSmith is coming up with some big saves, Nielsen is coming up with some big saves, and then going into the overtime, I was like, wow, this is going to be great. Crosby, Malkin, and Letang, what a great unit to have out there in overtime, but the Canucks were able to bounce back and take the puck away out of their zone. Brock Boeser then came out and he scored a goal. Fantastic. 2 in the year for Brock Boeser. Another player that I'd like to talk about was Alexander Edler. Edler got a penalty, the only penalty that I saw, where he basically tipped the puck up over the Vancouver glass. It was a delay of game penalty, and rightfully so, but it was just really unfortunate how it turned out. Edler had himself a really calm game. There was one span of time where he played 2 full shifts alongside of Tanev and Goodbranson when the Penguins had the Canucks hemmed in their own zone. The Penguins were controlling, taking some shots, Nilsson was making some saves, Edler had to stay out there for a long time, and he eventually got the puck out and went over to the bench. He played 2 full shifts in that one span of time, and I was very impressed with what I saw, but I was even more impressed when, just right after the Penguins had the puck, cradled it back, played a full shift again, Edler got right back out there with Tanev. That man takes no days off when he's out there skating. You could say that's a product of Travis Green and what Green is doing for his players. You could say that's a little bit too much, but Alex Edler was really comfortable with that, and you could tell. Another player I'd like to talk about was Erik Goodbranson. He played on the line with Hutton today, and I already told you guys what I thought about Hutton. Goodbranson wasn't all too bad, honestly. That penalty that Edler took where he was in the box, Goodbranson was the guy that they put out there onto the ice to replace Edler on the PK. And Gutty had some good positioning, and his defensive awareness wasn't all too bad. He was leaning down on the ice in the appropriate spots, and watching him from the TV's point of view, I was like, yeah, you're in a good spot, Gutty. I like that. That's not to say that I think that Gutty is a very good player, and he absolutely deserves to be playing on our penalty kill, but hey, he got the job done in this one, and I thought it was a pretty good showing. Other than that, though, the real stars of this game, in my opinion, Brock Boeser, for sure, Anders Nilsson, for sure, and I also got to give props to Tim Schaller, who was also there for 2 of the Canucks' goals. He got 2 assists in this one. Nilsson with his 26-save performance, it was a very good night for him. 3 stretches of wins in a row for the Canucks and Nilsson. All is well in Canuckland as the Vancouver Canucks beat out the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2 in overtime. Brock is back, baby. He's getting more goals. Yes! Hope you guys enjoyed this video for Plus the Shores I Sign Gaming, and bye.